Hello my beautiful makeup lovers, thank you so much for tuning in with me and a very warm welcome to my channel. Today I'm very pumped because this is my first collab ever and I'm super excited about it. It is with Miriam. Miriam is a fellow European YouTuber and therefore we thought it would make sense to collab on the topic of our top 5 European makeup brands because, of course, what else? And yes, so I'll link her channel and her video down below so you can find your way to her, and you definitely should because her channel is really amazing. She has this kind of dry humor mixed with, I would call it coolness. So that makes her videos really enjoyable. She sits down calmly and does her makeup. She does a lot of like kind of not really get ready with me, but trying new, for example, eyeshadows. So she's definitely a fellow eyeshadow fanatic like me. So that's why we get along together, I guess. And yeah, so she is very calm about it, but she does get excited as well. And she has this dry humor that makes her videos very entertaining. I really love to watch her. You should definitely check her out because she's also someone who really engages in the community. She just doesn't put out a video there and then she never answers to any comments or anything. She really, you know, speaks with you like here on YouTube or on Instagram about new makeup, about the thing you put, about the thing she put. And that's really enjoyable. And she's this kind of person that I'm here for. That's why I decided to start a channel because of people like her who really give this community like this kind of essence it needs. And I'm really happy I found her here. Thank you so much, Miriam, to collab with me. You're the kindest and I'm super excited. And I think I filmed this intro like 6 times because I was so excited. And let's get started now because I'm already talking too much. The first brand I want to talk about, which is my number 5, is Makeup Revolution. So Makeup Revolution, I put it on place 5 because I think they're a really nice brand. They're a really big brand and they're European. I think they are UK based. They actually belong to Tam Beauty and yeah, so therefore they are UK based. And I got to buy from them through this little guy here, the Conceal and Define Concealer, which is my absolute favorite concealer at the moment. I really love that one. And I also really enjoy all the collaboration products they did with Soft as Nails. So they did 2 eyeshadow palettes and 1 highlighter palette. And I really love those. And I think I really like Makeup Revolution because they have affordable products and they're definitely hits and misses. They are not like all of them great quality, but it's a brand that made like, let's say 50% of their products are good. And that's really nice because it's a brand you can get easily here and it's an affordable brand. They have a huge collection. And yeah, so I really enjoyed it. I really also enjoy, for example, the foundation they just came out with, which is accompanying with the Conceal and Define Concealer. And I think the thing that I really appreciate about Makeup Revolution is that they also reach out to smaller YouTubers or bloggers to do collaboration. For example, I think when they started this collab with Soft as Nails, they already have 2 now, but the first one, I think she wasn't that huge as she is now. I mean, they don't pick like YouTubers like me who have like almost no subscribers, but still they do pick YouTubers which are not like already in the millions to collab with. And that's really nice. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I just think that they give a lot of options for people who don't want to spend too much money on their makeup, but still want to have a lot of choice. And that's really cool. I really appreciate that from them. I don't love everything from them, but I do have some gems like these eyeshadow palettes they did in collaboration, as I already mentioned, and the concealer and the foundation that I really love and I really would miss in my collection. And yeah, so I'm really happy they're here with us in Europe. Okay, so my number 4 is Makeup Addiction Cosmetics. Makeup Addiction Cosmetics, I mainly have only eyeshadow palettes from them and 1 highlighter palette. And they look like this, like they are this kind of 8-pan eyeshadow palettes that you can pop out. And this is what I appreciate about them because you can just pop out and kind of mix together what you like and etc. And I really like those, and I like that they don't have huge palettes. and I really like the quality. I don't like the quality of every palette. They're like, for example, here in the Flaming Love palette, these 3 mattes, I don't enjoy them too much, but this was the first palette from them, and then the matte formula changed a bit, and in the other palettes I like the matte formula, so maybe it was just like the first go. But the shimmers in here are awesome. They're super beautiful, and yeah, so I can really recommend, because I can really recommend Makeup Addiction Cosmetics. I have to finish my sentences. I'm too excited. And the great thing about them is that their shadows have kind of a dimension to them that you don't see when you just see them on the website or in the pan. And I really love this, like picking it up and then put it on your eye and you're like, wow, that looks bright. I didn't expect that. And that's really nice, this kind of surprising element that they have. And I kind of put them on place 4 because there are some shades from their palettes that give me a bit of trouble. So, and also I don't feel drawn to the rest of their collection that they have. I don't know why this is, but somehow I don't. But in general, I think Makeup Addiction Cosmetics is a very underrated brand. I don't hear a lot of people talking about them. Miriam actually did a video on Makeup Addiction Cosmetics on the Meadow palette, where she also said she couldn't find any YouTube videos really relating to them, like with a lot of clicks or from someone with a lot of views. The only person that I find is a bit a bigger YouTuber that speaks about them is Angelica Niquis. But besides that, I never hear anybody talking about it. And I don't know why that is, because they are awesome. And yes, they are like maybe in each palette, maybe 1 or 2 shades, which are not that great, but they are affordable. And even the not so great shades are still much better than from the majority of brands. So I don't know why they don't get more love. I love them. So my number 3 in the ranking is, I'm just gonna hold up one thing, is Certifeye. So Certifeye is a UK based brand, like also Makeup Revolution and also Makeup Addiction Cosmetics, but there will be some of them which are not based in the UK. I really like about them basically their eyeshadow palettes. So I have 3 of them. They have like one smaller one that I don't have, but I have all of the 3 of the big ones that they came out, the Tropic Wonders, the Dynasty and the Destiny palette. And I also have from them one blush that I have been enjoying quite a lot actually. I really like this color. And I also have 2 highlighters. I just show you one, which is like a loose highlight and in the color Meteor. And I am really liking Certifeye. I really like the palette. Like I entered the brand through this palette, the Tropical Wonders palette, and this was so nice for me. Like I really love colorful mattes. I think this is a beautiful palette when you want colorful mattes, and that's why I got crazy about Certifeye. I definitely had to order also the Dynasty palette that came out after this, which looks like that. And yeah, so this one I also love so much. And then they have the Destiny palette. This one I'm currently trying out, or at least, well, let's say I just filmed my final review for you before I filmed this video. So I know how I feel about it, but I'm not going to spoil it. And yeah, so Certifeye is really, like, I really appreciate that they go into the colorful game with the eyeshadow palette. They have one small one that's called the Majestic palette. That's more kind of a neutral palette, but I really like the bigger palettes. And I don't know, maybe the Majestic palette is great as well. I haven't tried it, but I'm really there for their color stories. I think they have beautiful color stories, and they're not super expensive. I think one of those retails for like 32 euros. I don't know exactly. I put up here how much this is in dollars as of today's exchange rate. And yeah, so I'm happy that I found Certifeye, and they are, why I put them over, for example, Makeup Addiction Cosmetics, is because of their color stories. Because this kind of color stories, they deserve, you know, to be ranked over maybe the one from Makeup Addiction Cosmetics, because I think Makeup Addiction Cosmetics, the color stories I like, but I'm not crazy about them. And this one, I'm like, oh my god, that's so beautiful. And that's why I really love Certifeye, and I also bought from them in this kind of thing like false lashes, and it's a beautiful packaging, by the way. You just have to be like bloop. Oh, it's a bit difficult, but it's beautiful. And they their lashes, they really helped me a little bit to get better in my false lashes game, so I really appreciate that. And yeah, so all over, I'm really happy with the brand by itself, and I'm so happy that I found Certifeye, and that's it. Okay, so my number 2, we're getting close. My number 2 of favorite European makeup brands is Lethal Cosmetics. So Lethal Cosmetics, I actually just discovered recently, like a month ago maybe. And yeah, they blew me away. Like they have single eyeshadows and liquid lipsticks, and also glosses now. So they have this kind of, let me just arrange this. These singles that I picked out from them, I added a bit more since I did my final review on these ones, because I really, really like them. I think they have an amazing quality, and they are such a nice brand. I really like the whole brand aesthetic and everything around it. You can tell that they really think through what they do there. But what I really like about this brand is that, for example, they give you, every time you order something like single eyeshadows on their website, they give you one of those palettes for free, which is super amazing, and they don't make you buy it just to buy it, and that's really nice. At least that was the case when I bought it. I hope it's still like that. And I really like their colors. I think they're really unique, and I'm really a big fan of those. Like I used them a lot lately, and I'm so happy I found this brand. And I also bought these 2 lip bundles from them, from the Last Resort collection, which are 2 liquid lipsticks and 2 glosses each. And yeah, I'm also really liking those. I am such a huge fan of this brand. So far, everything I tried from them really blew me away. I really like those. And they are also, of course, this is a bit in my heart, they are based in Berlin, and I lived there a long time in Berlin, so maybe I'm a bit biased. But no, this is objectively a really good brand, and I don't think they get enough recognition, to be honest. I never really see a lot of videos on them, especially from like non-German YouTubers, and I think they totally deserve this kind of attention, and that's why I wanted to put them here on place 2 also, because I think they do deserve a lot of attention. They have a great thing going there, and it's a brand basically that excites me, you know? That's why I put them on place 2 over the other 3 that I already mentioned, because it's a brand that I know if they would now post like, oh, we're going to come out with a new collection, I would be very excited. Like, I'm very excited in general what this brand is going to do in the future. And if a brand excites me, it definitely deserves a place high up in this ranking. Okay, so now let's do it. Let's say what is my favorite European makeup brand. And maybe this is not gonna come as a shock. And because I'm speaking about Blush Tribe. So Blush Tribe is, I think, my, at the moment, favorite European makeup brand. And this is because they have a really nice thing going. They mainly have eyeshadow palettes. They also have pigments. I failed to bring the pigments with me. I have like 3 pigments of them, and I do like those. They got me into the pigment game, so I'm excited for this. And the very first palette I had from them was the Blossom palette. This is how it looks like, and this is like the Certified Tropical Wonders. Was for me such a huge relief to find an all matte, colorful eyeshadow palette that is from a European brand. And I am loving this so much. I think it's a beautiful color story as well. And yeah, I'm so, like, when I found this as well, I was also blown away. And I do like this one even a little bit better than the Tropical Wonders. I'm not gonna get into now why, but I do like this one more. So that's also one reason already why I put Blush Tribe more up there. And also, I am a huge fan. I just reviewed here the Hasina 2 palette. Oops, the Hasina 2 palette. And this color story I find so innovative. And I think this deserves, it gets a lot of attention already, but I think it deserves even more attention because it's so beautiful and it's just amazing. And also I have here the Hasina palette. This one is my latest edition actually. And I think this is also one that made them a bit more famous as well. I tried it once so far, but I also really like it and it just excites me as well. And that's also the thing. It does, is a brand that does excite me, like Lethal Cosmetics, but I do think that they are just a bit, you know, more inventive in the sense of like how they put the color stories together. I mean, like this is amazing. I haven't seen something like this yet. And I'm happy that they are not afraid to try things like that, if you know what I mean. Like, I think a lot of companies would have been like, maybe that's, you know, not everybody can identify with this. But they don't care and they say like, no, but it's beautiful. And the people who cannot identify with it, they will probably identify with the next palette. And that's the really nice thing about them. Like, I think they are kind of brave in the sense of what they do, especially with Hasina. And they also came out just with the Fall Fusion palette that is on its way to me, together with the Malika palette, which is kind of like a pardon to the Hasina too, because it has mainly red tones. And so it's kind of like the contra thing to this one, which is so nice because people who love those colors will appreciate this so much. And I'm happy that a brand is brave enough to do this. And that's why I think they deserve to be on place number 1. I really love them. I totally do. And yes, so that's it. And also the owner is very sweet. Like when you reach out to her, she always answers your messages and everything. She's very concerned about that her customers feel well. She's always posting on Instagram if she's a bit behind orders. She's like apologizing so much, which you don't see other brands doing. So that's really nice. I really appreciate this. And that's another bonus why I think this brand is amazing. And yeah, so these were my top 5 of European makeup brands. But I have 2 honorable mentions. And I'm going to do this, you know, because I couldn't decide. And I felt like I don't want to put them there, but I want to mention them. And I tell you why they didn't make it in the top 5. I think that's what I'm going to do. And one of them is let me organize this. One of those companies is Zoeva. So Zoeva is a German brand. And yeah, so as you can see, I have quite some eyeshadow palettes from them. I have the Brow Spectrum from them, which I absolutely love. It's the only eye product that I use because I'm not really into eyebrows. But this one, you know, I really love that one. I think I showed it sometime on my channel. And I really like this palette. And I also, these 5 eyeshadow palettes that I have from them, the Cocoa Blend, the End Top, the Basic Moment, and the Rose Gold, and the Caramel Melange. I really like those. I also have a bunch of brushes from them. So I really love Zoeva brushes. I am really happy that I can get a hold of them very easy. And the thing is, with Zoeva, I really love them. And I used to buy like a lot from them. And then I bought like the Cafe palette. It's called the Cafe palette. I hope it's called like that. And then I also bought the ICU or something palette from them. It was 2 eyeshadow palettes. And it means something that I don't show them here because I really didn't like those. They were like of such a different quality, like nothing like those. I think if this wouldn't have happened, they would have been definitely here in the top 5 because I think Zoeva is a great brand. But this was just like such a fail that I think I cannot put them anymore in this top 5. And also one of my sister-in-law, she ordered from them the Warm Spectrum palette. And I don't have that, but I saw it from her, you know, I tried a little bit from her, the palette. And while the shades were good, the layout and the whole color story was really not that great. And so I was a bit like, And well, I hope Zoeva gets it together again and makes again great eyeshadow palettes. And yeah, so the brushes I still love, but with the eyeshadow palettes, I also didn't like the liquid lipsticks and stuff. So somehow I'm concerned when I think about Zoeva. I'm concerned. So that's why I want to do an honorable mention because I do have things from them that I really love, but the latest releases, just no. And then I also want to mention actually KIKO, and I'm kind of sure that Miriam will put those, like the brand KIKO, in her top 5. I think so. I don't know. I will see. But for me, they're an honorable mention because, as you can see, I don't have a product now at hand from them. And that's mainly because I do have some still floating around, but KIKO was my go-to brand when I was not into makeup yet. Like I was still just buying when I needed something, not like now hoarding it, but just buying when I needed it actually. And I really loved KIKO, and I do think they're still a great brand. And I actually, Miriam did a video on them being an underrated brand, which I totally agree, because they get easily forgotten. So I am actually want to get more into KIKO products again because they're affordable, they're easily accessible for me. So I want to do an honorable mention because I haven't tried since a while from them, because I don't know, there's just so many other brands. And I do want to get back in there, so I definitely wanted to mention them because they were my go-to brand when I was not a makeup hoarder. And yeah, that's why I think they deserve a place here. But at the moment, I don't really have a grip on how their current products are, so I didn't feel like comfortable putting them in my top 5, but I want to do an honorable mention. Okay, so that's it with the brands I wanted to mention. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your favorite European brands? Maybe you have one for me that I don't know yet, so I can check it out and change up my top 5. And don't forget to check out Miriam's video. It's linked down below, so definitely click on it. I bet it's gonna be amazing and also entertaining, so go there. And yeah, so give this video a thumbs up if you like this kind of videos. Also give Miriam's videos a thumbs up if you like her video, which you will. And please consider subscribing to Mariams and my channel if you haven't already. And then see you in our next videos. Bye bye!